Hi everybody, this is methlokaiju and today I will be reviewing Jurassic World. This is my spoiler review. So if you haven't watched the film yet, then do not watch. And if you have seen the film or you just really want to be spoiled about the whole entire movie, including the deaths, the characters, the dinosaurs, the creatures, the end battle, and all that stuff, then go ahead and watch it, I guess. Okay, so let's get started with the review. So right off the bat, I do want to say this film is amazing. This film is obviously better than JP3 because JP3 is terrible. JP1, I'm not gonna say it's better than JP1. I think JP1 is so far the best Jurassic Park film. So I don't think it's better than Jurassic Park 1, but I do think it's, yeah, pretty sure it's actually better than Lost World because I give Lost World like a 8.5 out of 10. But this film, I give it. Actually, no, I'm not gonna say really the rating right now for Jurassic World. I'm gonna say it at the end. But yeah, I think this movie is actually even better than The Lost World, which is actually pretty surprising to say. For other people, it's not that surprising because they utterly hate it even more than JP3, which I don't know how that's even possible, but whatever. Okay, so let's get off with the characters. First of all, let's start off with the main human character, that being Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt is an awesome character, great acting, considering the fact that literally there's a green screen right in front of him instead of a dinosaur. But he is actually acting like, he's taming real animals, which is actually very, very good acting. One thing I do want to say is that I wish he wasn't so, serious or so, bossy. No, not bossy. Serious. Yeah, I guess serious. I wish he kind of loosened up a little bit. I mean, the beginning part where, he's doing all these jokes to Bryce Dallas Howard, those were pretty cool. Um, good character traits. I mean, I wish he was like that throughout the film. I mean, not like that throughout the whole entire film because then it would be kind of awkward how it's going to be so jokester the whole entire film, like, Guardians of the Galaxy. But I wish he kind of loosened up a little bit, I guess, even though he is in the Navy, so, hmm, just loosen up a little bit, but overall his character is great. I really, really love his character. Not really sure what is my favorite human character, either Chris Pratt or Laurie, but anyways, since we're talking about Laurie, let's talk about Laurie right now. Laurie is amazing. I love him. Um, I love his character. Um, it's very, very great idea, or I really applaud Colin Trevorrow for Trevorrow, whatever, however you pronounce his last name, for including him, which was I believe in his other film. I forget what his other film was called, but thank you, Colin, for including him in this film. And also, I guess he's supposed to be like that Jurassic Park fan. He cares about the prices and all that stuff. Everybody like kind of connects with him. I mean, if you're a Jurassic Park fan, you definitely connect with him because he has the Jurassic Park shirt. He has all those dinosaurs right there in his desk. And he's talking about like, oh, this shirt on eBay cost $100, but if you want a mint, it costs $300. Stuff of that sort. So that's very cool. And also, he makes so many funny jokes, especially this one scene with which most of the reviewers that you guys probably have seen probably already mentioned this part. But the part whenever when he's about to like kiss his co-worker and things, they're in a relationship, but it turns out the co-worker already had a boyfriend, and excuse me, not Colin, Laura was actually about to kiss her, but then she just backs away and just says that she already has a boyfriend, which is, pretty funny. I also like the scene with Chris Pratt being really frustrated to Vic Hoskins. Was it Vic Hoskins? And also Simon Masrani as well. And it looks like, it was a very serious scene, and he's about to leave the control room, and he was really frustrated. So he literally, you know, uh, dropped all the little dinosaurs that were on top of his desk, and Larry just had this very, very funny face, and he had a very funny face. So I really, really love that scene. It's really, really funny. So yeah, I'm not really sure which character I like more, because Larry definitely has the great jokes. I mean, he's awesome. Now let's talk about Claire Deering or Bryce Dallas Howard. Bryce Dallas Howard actually seemed in the trailers to be a very bland and pretty bad character, but actually in the movie, she's actually very, very good. Um, it's kind of odd how she's actually doing, she's like running, she's like, even running from the T-Rex with high heels. I mean, that's kind of weird, but that doesn't really take anything away from the film, unlike other reviewers who want to be all like, oh, I'm a critiquer, so I'm a critic, excuse me, so I have to be all like this, and then I have to deduct points for advertisements if there's so many advertisements. But anyways, but yeah, I say her character is actually very, very cool. I think that's basically all I can say about her. Okay, now let's talk about Omar Sy, or what's his name? Barry. Yeah, Barry. He doesn't really have anything to do in the film. I mean, he's just Chris's assistant. He doesn't really have to do anything. I mean, he's just there. He recommends Chris Pratt what to do, like not going inside the thing to help that the newbie, and saying that the dinosaurs are communicating and all that stuff, I guess. And that's basically all he does. I mean, he doesn't really have a big role. If he does appear in the sequel, hopefully he has a bigger role, and that'll be pretty cool. Now let's talk about the kids in this film. The older brother, which what's his name, Zach? Pretty sure it's Zach. In the beginning, he's like this lame-ish kind of character because he's one of those cool kids that don't want to really show off their emotions, and likes girls and is all serious, and doesn't really care about anything, just how attractive he looks like and all that stuff, which I guess is stereotypical, and that's why Zach, not many people really care about him. But then at the end, he's a pretty cool character. I mean, he's not the best, obviously. He's kind of still, I mean, I wish there was more to his character. I mean, he is actually somewhat smart. Like, for example, whenever he, like, charged up that, JP, man, I can't believe what it's called. The trucks from the original film. I completely forgot what they're called. Jeep Wrangler, yeah, the Jeep Wrangler. When he like turned it back on when it was like there like for 20 something years. So, he's pretty smart in mechanics. It looks like. So, and also his escape routes and how he tries to escape into certain situations. Also pretty smart as well. So he's a pretty cool character, I guess. I mean, he could offer more, but pretty neat. And then Gray is really cool. Some scenes it looks like it's kind of acted out. Like, for example, whenever he's running away from the T-Rex, or why did I say T-Rex? From the Indominus Rex. It seems kind of fake-ish a little bit, but overall his character is great. I really, really love them, and hopefully both of them appear in the sequel. That'll be really, really awesome. Now let's talk about Simon Masrani. Simon Masrani is that worker. I mean, not worker guy. What I'm talking about. He's the head. He's the CEO of Masrani Corporation, and he's basically the cause of why Jurassic World exists. Now, he's an alright character. I mean, he's not really a villain, surprisingly. He's like, I don't know, I can't really see what he is, really. He's not really like a super, I mean, not a superhero, like a good person, nor is he like a villain, because, he says, oh, I want to make everything all safe. And, the reason why I made this is to show how puny we are. But really, he's just doing this for the money, so I'm not really sure where to classify him in, but he's a pretty cool character. And at the end of the day, it looks like he dies. Which, whenever he died, I didn't really have any emotions to him. So I guess they should have went a little more into his character. That would have been pretty cool, like his backstory and all that stuff. And I mean, not too much of his backstory, but I wish they just went a tiny bit more on his backstory. But that's alright. Because nobody really cares about him. And either way, he's gonna die at the end of the movie anyways. I mean, it's not even the end of the movie, it's like halfway of the movie. And yes, he did die when he was in the helicopter, which I have no idea why anybody didn't say, oh, don't fly that helicopter, you're barely, training how to fly. Because, he is the main reason why around 3 people died, and why the Pteranodons escaped, literally. So, he's kind of idiotic, actually. I mean, yes, he is a business worker, and he did all this profit, and he had very hard decisions, and looks like he did a good decision. But in this case, he made a terrible decision by actually flying a helicopter that is made to, target and kill the Indominus Rex. So what a moron! But looks like he's dead anyways. Now let's talk about Vic Hoskins. Vic Hoskins is actually surprisingly pretty important. In the trailers, it seems like he was there just saying, "Oh, we have no more stuff left, so, let's do this instead." And surprisingly, Vic Hoskins is the person who proposed the idea of, letting the Raptor Squad free and attacking the Indominus Rex, which it seemed in the trailers was actually Chris Pratt's idea, which actually it isn't. Vic Hoskins is definitely the villain, the human villain of this film. It looks like him and Henry Wu were basically the reason why Indominus Rex existed. So yeah, he definitely is the villain, and he's proposing the idea of these animals to be turned into weapons for the military, which is pretty aggressive. I mean, really. I mean, just use your own kinds. Just use human beings. I mean, it's alright how they are already. But yeah, he's definitely the human villain, and he's basically the main cause of why Indominus Rex exists. And he probably also knows what he's mixed of, which I will talk about later on. What Indominus Rex is actually mixed of. Now, what else can I talk about him? Oh yeah, he did die in nearly the end of the movie, near the end battle sequence. I believe it was Charlie or Delta. I'm pretty sure it's Charlie. Charlie, right? Yeah, Charlie. It was in the part whenever. Actually, wait. Before I say that, I do want to mention that after Masrani's death, after Simon Masrani's death, he gets his brand new crew and literally takes over the control room, and looks like he made his own corporation now, I guess. Which is pretty surprising how this humble person, this assistant, immediately turned into basically the boss of the whole entire park. It's kind of surprising. It literally came out of nowhere, really, but it doesn't really lower down the movie at all. Um, but yeah, basically his company takes all these DNA or those little the egg stuff, whatever dinosaurs that are incubated in the hatchery, or what is it called, a hatchery? Yeah, hatchery, and all the embryos. He takes them to who knows where, as well as as I almost said Doctor Who, as well as well as Doctor Wu. I guess he's also taken somewhere. I don't know where. But while they're doing that, Vic Hoskins has this conversation with Chris Pratt and the kids and what else? And Bryce Dallas Howard. And then all of a sudden, Charlie came out of nowhere. Vic Hoskins tries to be Chris Pratt and pretend like he's actually trained the raptor. But then Charlie literally bites off Vic Hoskins' arm off, and then I mean it's not really shown, but it's pretty evident he actually bit off his hand. And obviously Vic Hoskins is now killed. So I guess all villains die, definitely. So, I was kind of expecting his deaths to be, appearing in the film. So, it wasn't really a surprise for me. And obviously you shouldn't really feel emotion for a villain, and I guess he succeeded, I guess. So Vic Hoskins is gone, but his company is still thriving, and it looks like they're taking the embryos somewhere. And this is definitely teasing the sequel. Who else? Who else? Who did we forget? Who did we forget? Doctor Wu. Terrible truck. Anyways, Doctor Wu is, I guess, a villain-ish kind of. Yeah, pretty sure he's a villain. He's the one that decided what to be in the Indominus Rex. He did explain some things that Indominus Rex was made of. And it looks like he tried to classify as much of the stuff Indominus Rex is actually made of, because it looks like even some of the work, even Simon Masrani didn't even know what Indominus Rex was made of. Masrani just told him, make something big, make something scary. And You know, Doctor Wu definitely achieved that by putting like super vicious animals. I mean, exaggeratedly vicious animals. I mean, to the point where it's kind of odd why he even chose those animals, literally. Because, he could have done something else, like, mix. I have no idea. Maybe like a smaller carnivore, maybe, and then put some like herbivorous stuff to, kind of make it more calm or something. Or maybe he could have put some scavenger DNA, like a scavenger dinosaur DNA, for it can just be grazing around, the island, and maybe they can just, throw in some food and that's it, instead of killing everything literally, like live. So, yeah, I don't know why Doctor Wu did this. And also, as I already mentioned like 2 times already, he is taken somewhere and he brings his suitcase, which who knows what he has in the suitcase, maybe like some embryos. That would be pretty cool. So that's all for the character. Now let's talk about the dinosaurs. Now, I do want to mention that unfortunately, Suchomimus, Pachycelosaurus, who else? Who else? Is there any? Suchomimus, Baryonyx, Metriacanthosaurus, and a bunch of others are not seen in the film at all. This is very, very disappointing because this is really what I wanted to see in Jurassic World. Wanted to see some scarce, odd dinosaurs in Jurassic World, but it really didn't take anything from it because we do see some pretty cool dinosaurs such as Parasaurolophus and Callosaurus, a more scientifically accurate Triceratops and all that stuff. Anyways, let's talk about the Indominus Rex. Indominus Rex is a combination of a bunch of different things. It's a combination of a tree frog, and the characteristics of a tree frog it has is that it can change its temperature. Um, so it can be from a hot-blooded, or what's it called? Not hot-blooded, that makes no sense. Um, Warm-blooded, yeah, that's the word. It can be from warm-blooded to a cold-blooded, and that is why they couldn't track the Indominus Rex in the paddock and all that stuff, because it just turned, cold-blooded. So that's pretty cool. It also has tree frog. Actually, no, I already said that. It also has cuttlefish DNA, and that is the reason why it camouflages. It's not because of the Carnotaurs from the original novel or whatever. It's actually by the cuttlefish, and it is actually combined with TRex DNA, which was proposed a long time ago. So that's pretty cool. That's like the main base, and it also has Velociraptor DNA, hence why it communicated with the Velociraptors in the in the middle of the film. Now, it's really not really known completely what he's made of because there's so much other stuff that is kind of unknown. The website does say it's mixed with abelisaurids, such as Giganosaurus, Rugops, Majungasaurus, and Carnotaurus, which does explain all the other characteristics that has, like this little like quill stuff or whatever, and all those plating stuff or whatever. But still, we really do not know 100% what Indominus Rex is actually made of. And plus, it looks like it kind of like unhinges its jaw. So I guess that's also snake DNA in there. We really do not know. I mean, obviously, there's no human DNA, so whoever proposed the idea of human DNA in Indominus Rex is completely wrong. Um, but yeah, we really do not know what Indominus Rex is actually made of. Now let's talk about the T-Rex. T-Rex, oh my god. I mean, T-Rex is amazing, as always. This is obviously the one from the original film because it has scars which pertain from the Velociraptors. And for me, it was actually kind of odd how T-Rex didn't really attack Blue the Velociraptor because, wouldn't it kind of know, oh, that is the same creature that attacked me 20-something years ago? I don't really know why it didn't thought that, but whatever. Anyways, T-Rex is amazing, and the screen time is limited to the T-Rex. T-Rex does appear a tiny bit in the beginning, whenever she's about to eat the goats. Pretty cool shots, and mostly appears at the end, whenever it's about to fight the Indominus Rex, which I will talk about the main fight, later on. What other dinosaurs can I talk about? The Velociraptors. Velociraptors are pretty cool. Blue was the main Velociraptor, and that's the one they focused on more because Charlie, Delta, and Echo were more like to the side. They weren't really talked about too much, really. No, they were like, I mean, yes, they are involved into Raptor Squad, which is pretty cool, but they're kind of like just to the side, like shove them to the side and let's have Blue be the main thing, which is pretty cool. I mean, pretty cool that Blue is like the main one, but I wish it also kind of, showed more of Delta. They showed more of Echo. They showed more of Charlie, stuff of that sort. And yeah, so the Velociraptors are awesome. And people were saying, oh, how can Velociraptors be trained? Well, it looks like Chris Pratt does, or excuse me, not Chris Pratt. The overall movie does explain how they're trained. Mutual respect. Even though this was already revealed in the trailer, so I don't know. I'm talking about this right now. But yeah, it looks like the reason why they attack. What's her name? Bryce Dallas Howard is because the Indominus Rex. I mean, the Velociraptors are meant to, attack and kill the Indominus Rex. But then Indominus Rex, well, I believe, communicates with the Velociraptor since she knows she's literally surrounded by a bunch of military people. So she communicates with the Velociraptors by saying, "Oh, attack these people. These are our enemies, and be on my team." And basically, the Velociraptors actually do comprehend what she's saying since she's part of Velociraptor, and basically now have a new alpha. Instead of Chris Pratt being their alpha, it's now Indominus Rex. And so, the whole military has this whole entire battle with Indominus Rex and the Velociraptors. Who is it? I believe it's Delta or Charlie. No, it has to be Delta. Delta is killed by like a nuke. It's not a nuke. It's like a missile, I guess we can call it. So that's pretty unfortunate. It was really sad to see Charlie. I mean, excuse me, Delta. I mean, Delta was looking at Chris Pratt with these like cute eyes and all that stuff, just reminding, oh, this is my actual alpha. And then out of nowhere, the missile came and boom, just exploded her, which is, it was pretty sad to see. And obviously, the other Raptors are not killed, but the other Raptors do attack the little car thing, or whatever that Bryce Dallas Howard was in. But also, the deaths of the other Velociraptors is also pretty sad. I don't know who it was. I'm pretty sure it was Charlie. I think it was Charlie. Yeah, I think it was Charlie. But basically, Charlie was thrown to this like cooking pan or something. I don't know. It's not a pan. It's like this roasting thing, and she was like basically burnt alive. I mean, that was really, really sad. But it was immediately, so you couldn't really feel any emotions for it. I mean, you did have this guilt, but then it just went to the next shot, and you had to see that next shot. So, you didn't really feel too many emotions whenever they died, unfortunately, which is kind of sad, I guess. And then Echo, how was she killed? I don't remember. I think she was literally just tossed, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she was just tossed. I mean, the Indominus Rex literally bit her in the rib area and then threw her just like that. And, that was also pretty sad. So now let's get into some shots I really liked. One shot I really liked was the Pteranodon attack. Actually, no, before I get to that, one of my favorite shots was the aviary scene. So we see the Dimorphodon, the Pteranodons are there, and then Indominus Rex for desperation just barges into the aviary and then scares off the Pteranodons and Dimorphodons, and then they start flying out and all that stuff from the little hole, and then basically the Pteranodons attack the helicopter, which is patrolled by or driven by Simon Majrani, which was the worst person to be driving that helicopter, and then basically goes out of control and then literally crashes into the aviary, killing Mr. Masrani and the other two people who were in it, or three. Not pretty sure it was the other two people who were in it. And then Indominus Rex barges out of the aviary again, and then on the Pteranodon, this is the next best shot, or not the next best shot, but another shot that was awesome, was whenever they were attacking and, yeah, they were attacking the people in the main street or whatever. That's another very awesome shot. I really like the scene with Zara being picked up. I mean, I know this is kind of sad for people who like Zara or even Zara's family or whatever. But whenever she got picked up and then, she was thrown by the other pteranodons and all that stuff, that was also pretty cool, honestly. I will admit, that was pretty cool. Yeah, we really do see like a great zoom in of the people's reaction and all that stuff. I mean, like the camera acts like, it's one of the people running kind of, and we pan, in the back of us, and then we see some people struggling and being poked, and then it's really really awesome scene. And it's kind of odd how pteranodons can cause such chaos, but this movie definitely shows that, and that's one thing I really really love about this movie. Another scene I liked was the Gyrosphere attack when the Indominus Rex literally, breaking the Gyrosphere, trying to get those kids. But then Zach, it looks like, has a great idea to get out, or it wasn't really a great idea, it was kind of obvious, but whatever. So they escape, and then the Indominus Rex shakes that off, and then runs towards the kids, and then they fall into the waterfall. That was also pretty cool. I also like the scene with the Incalsaurus battle. I mean, even though it was really short, I really like that scene also. It had Indominus Rex, I believe, scratch the thigh area of the Incalsaurus. Incalsaurus was already kind of injured. It looks like Incalsaurus didn't even use... Actually, no way. Yeah, it did use its club. It did hit Indominus Rex. I'm pretty sure, like, in the thigh area. But it looks like Indominus Rex, didn't even fall off or anything. Maybe he kind of trampled a little bit, but then just got right back up and then, boom, scratched the Ankylosaurus, flipped her over, and literally got her by the head, not by the neck, by the head, and literally cracked her head. I mean, that was also pretty sad for the Ankylosaurus. The bad thing is that life was wasted for nothing, not even for consumption. And now let's talk about the final battle. The final battle was amazing. As I said in my non-spoiler review, the Mosasaurus does have to do something here. And also my friend Gojira 400's theory, which was that the flare that Bryce Dallas Howard had was to trap the T-Rex to attack the Indominus Rex, was actually correct. So let me just give a little mini review of the final battle. So basically what's happening is that the Velociraptors attack Indominus Rex, Indominus Rex kills two Velociraptors, those being Echo and Charlie, which I already mentioned how their death was. And then basically, Blue was tossed into the wall, and at first I actually thought he was, like, a goner. Really, I don't know if it's a he or she. I'm pretty sure it's a she. But I thought she was gone already. I mean, like, oh, there's no more Velociraptors already? Man, that's pretty sad. Pretty sad. But, it looks like, while that's happening, Bryce Dallas Howard gets a flare, and then the T-Rex comes out of the paddock. I really love the shots when it's like very dark and you see the silhouette. It's not really a silhouette, but T-Rex peeks out from the darkness and then roars. I love that scene of the T-Rex. CGI there is amazing. I just really love that scene. But then that's when she's running towards Bryce Dallas Howard. Bryce Dallas Howard throws the flare to Indominus Rex. And then we see the shot of T-Rex literally destroying the skeleton of Spinosaurus. And then that's when we see the epic battle. And it actually seems T-Rex had the upper hand. And then immediately, Indominus Rex is literally about to kill the T-Rex, which actually shows Indominus Rex, even though she's been hit by many military weapons, and she's even been clawed and bitten by Velociraptors, she is about to kill a T-Rex. But then, out of nowhere, Blue comes out of nowhere and then literally goes into her back area. And then it looks like Indominus Rex is struggling to take her off. And then T-Rex gets right back up. And then Blue and T-Rex, or Rexy, fight the Indominus Rex, sending her to, or near the Mosasaurus pool. It looks like she's probably dead, but then she gets right back up, roars, and about to fight some more. And then all of a sudden, Mosasaurus comes out of nowhere, bites her neck, and then goes to land a little bit, and then goes right back to the ocean, and with Indominus Rex. So basically, Indominus Rex is that, and basically the winner is Mosasaurus, but you know, T-Rex was the main help, and Blue was the savior of the T-Rex, I guess. And then T-Rex looks at Blue, signaling, "Oh, good job," or that was a pretty good fight, something like that. You know what I mean? And then that's when T-Rex goes and does her thing. I guess she goes back to her paddock, I guess, or something. I'm not really sure. And then that's when Blue just goes to the park wandering around, and that's it. So the final battle was amazing. I love the final batter battle. I say this is probably a better battle than the Godzilla 2014 battle. Why? Because it goes back to the human shots in Godzilla 2014, and yeah, that basically what happens throughout the whole entire final battle of Godzilla 2014. So that's why I like this battle better, and also the deaths are awesome. I mean, the male Muto death was alright, I guess. I mean, it was like, oh, that was cool. Okay, next. But with this, death of the Indominus Rex was amazing. I just completely loved it. I mean, wow, it's just so fantastic. But I think that probably has to end the review now. What else can I talk about, really? Um, is there anything else I can talk about? Oh yeah, I do want to mention that whenever Hoskins and Chris Pratt and the kids and Bryce Dallas Howard were talking in the embryo room or whatever it's called, you can see the screen. You see the Stegoceratops. You also see Indominus Rex, but you also see another creature. It's like a bipedal, herbivorous-looking creature, actually, because the head actually resembled that of a Pachycephalosaurus. So maybe it's like a combination of Pachycephalosaurus and maybe like a, I don't know, like a Gallimimus or something. I'm not really sure, but I'm pretty sure maybe a hybrid of Pachycephalosaurus. And going back to what I said earlier on in this review about the suitcase of Dr. Wu, maybe he has some hybrid embryos in there. Maybe he has another Indominus Rex, which I pretty much doubt. Maybe he has Stegoceratops embryo, and he also has, that Pachycephalosaurus hybrid embryo as well. I mean, that would be pretty cool, and yeah. Now, for the sequel for Jurassic World 2, or Jurassic World, I'm pretty sure they might not be going to that island anymore because they said it's going to be the last day of business for them now, so I'm pretty sure that park or that island won't even be used anymore. That's what I'm guessing. But that's basically all for this spoiler review. Please leave in the comments below. What are your thoughts on this movie? This movie was amazing. I give this movie a 9.5 out of 10, which is a better rating than an 8.5 out of 10, which was the rating for The Lost World Jurassic Park. So I say this movie is the best sequel for Jurassic Park yet. Better than Jurassic Park 3. And surprisingly, even better than The Lost World, which I thought was a very awesome film. Lost World was really, really awesome. Especially the scene with T-Rex escaping and going to San Diego and attacking that bus and all that stuff. That's pretty cool. But that's basically all for this video. Remember, subscribe, like, and comment. This is methlokaiju signing out.